We struggled for months to get a price from sellers when we were on the phone with them, that initial conversation. And we used the script: if we paid all cash, covered all your closing costs, and didn't ask you to make a repair, what would you be willing to take for the place? We even used, well, do you have a ballpark range in mind that you wanted us to shoot for? Or what were similar houses in your neighborhood selling for? Trying to extract the price from the seller, and none of it worked. We kept getting the same response of, well, I was hoping you'd tell me you're the professional, or you're the one who called me, or you sent me the postcard. What price did you have in mind? So not only in this video are you going to learn how to solve this objection and obliterate it altogether, but you're going to be able to extract the price from a seller in a fashion that no other investor that I've seen has personally done. So without further ado, let's jump into the live call that I have with a recent seller. Am I reaching you at all right time?
Yeah, that's fine. I just was sitting here working on it. It's basically in a estate sale. My brother passed away last month, so I've been given the process to basically get rid of his things, and one of them is this house.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry to hear about that.
Yeah, thank you.
It's fairly recent in this sense, so it's...
Yes.
So it was your brother's place, and Dennis, are you local here, or I see the...
Okay. I live in Harrison.
Oh, got it.
And my brother's house is, well, obviously Nashville.
Yeah, yep. Got it. In the initial beginning part, when he had mentioned that his brother had just recently passed, I should have probably dove into that topic a little bit more, asked if he was close, which I ended up doing in person. I asked him, Dennis, were you close with your brother, or what was the relationship like? When's the last time you've been into the property, so on and so forth. But let's jump back into it. How long did your brother live there for? What's sort of going on in that regard?
He bought it in 2003.
Okay. And was it fairly well kept, or what's the story in the place?
I've never been, believe it or not, I've never been in it.
Okay.
When he bought it from the time now. Make a long story short, we discovered that he was a hoarder.
Okay.
He liked to collect things, we'll put it that way.
Yeah.
So since that time when he bought it, from what the description of it and stuff, it sounded like a nice little, 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom house.
Yeah.
But us going in it now, it needs a lot of work. So
Okay.
It's definitely a fixer.
Yeah. We actually just had one on literally a block away from that on 643 3rd Street, and it was a hoarder. And that was like, now the place looks like $1 million, but at the time of us getting it in 6-7 dumpsters later,
we just finished the second 30-yard dumpster today to clean it out, to kind of make it so when someone walks in to look at it to see if it's something they want to fix, it's not all that clutter. So we just finished our second dumpster today. Just got home. Yeah,
well, that's, hey, I applaud you for doing that, because it's never the easiest job, and
no, not at all.
It's like one after another, you just keep throwing stuff out, and slowly but surely it starts shrinking. But okay, so he was a bit of a hoarder in that regard. You guys have started the clean out process from the sounds of it. Did you have plans on finishing that, Dennis, or are you planning on whoever buys it takes care of it?
Yeah, I think right now I would like to see.
So with that part, I'm just diving into further on what the anticipated process is. And as you'll hear soon in the call, Dennis said he just wants to sell it. He doesn't want to really deal with it anymore, which is understandable. No one really wants to deal with a hoarder house. And actually, to my surprise, the house was more cleaned out than I thought. It was still, though, extremely, extremely dirty.
You hear these, we'll buy it, we'll take it as is. I want to just see. Like I said, I got 95% of the stuff in the house out. We're working on getting things out of the garage and stuff of value, whatever. So, but that's where we're at right now.
Got it. And what is the realtor said so far as value on the place?
When he bought it in 2,000.
So what I'm doing here is just fact checking to see, have you talked with the realtor? So the terminology that I typically use is, well, what has the realtor told you so far? What updates has the realtor told you you need to make in order to sell it? And as you'll soon hear, Dennis, I don't think he really understood the question, but it is what it is there. It's still fact checking on have you talked with the realtor? And obviously the answer to this question would be no.
Yeah. It was, he bought it for $77,000.
Okay.
I think now it's assessed, if it was in good condition, I think it was assessed at 110.
Okay.
But it has went backwards.
Yeah.
Obviously from the 77. So I just would like to get a fair type offer to feel good about it and move on.
Do you, and I know this is obviously forward, but do you have any idea on I guess a price point that we could shoot for, Dennis? Because normally what I tell people is, like, obviously from our standpoint.
And this is how I typically get into price. Instead of going over the normal script of, well, if we came in, paid all cash, closed quickly, what would you be willing to take? I break it down from an easy to understand concept of what is the goal that we need to shoot for. And listen to this right now.
Standpoint, and I would assume you understand this is, like anyone, we try and get a deal, of course.
Right.
But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's like we have to buy property to stay in business, and like the last thing I want to do is come out to a property and then the owner's thinking, okay, Carter, I really need 100 on this, and then someone, and normally not us in these circumstances, but someone comes in and is like, yeah, I'm at $30,000, and they're like, holy crap, like why did these people even come out? So did you have something in mind that you wanted us to shoot for at least?
You know, kind of exactly what you were saying. I realized what it could go if it was in good shape,
Yep.
and then back myself up. You know, if a person that's flipping that's got to put, you know, $45,000, you know, dollars into something like that, $50,000. Well, now you're back in the 40s.
Yeah.
Well, the property I think was assessed at like 25,000. So I would like to be somewhere 45, somewhere in that range.
Okay. And that seems fair, like based upon kind of what you've been telling me so far.
Yeah.
So it's I'll kind of take your word for that in that regard.
So what I should have done here, in this specific circumstance, when he said 45-ish, I should have fact-checked him with, well, is that the lowest that you would possibly consider, Dennis? And I didn't. And I probably left, and I know for sure I left money on the table that we could have got, and ultimately we put this property under contract for that $45,000, which is totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. We paid what they were asking, which at the end of the day, we're gonna make probably $12,000 to $13,000 wholesaling this place, and they walked away with the price that they wanted. But I should have fact-checked them and asked, well, is that the lowest that you would possibly consider? Is there some room in that? But I didn't.
But would it be something, Dennis, that like we could come and see in the near future, like tomorrow or the next day, or what? I guess in your mind, what's the best time to come and see the place?
I can, let's see, do you have any openings like on Thursday or Friday?
Thursday's actually wide open. Friday, I just have to be in walk call at noon at a different property.
I know what that is. Thursday morning?
Yeah, you name a time, I'll be there.
Let's say 9 o'clock Thursday morning.
Okay, so Thursday, 9 a.m. And what I'll do, Dennis.
So now I scheduled the time with them, but I am gonna go over, set the expectation of what to expect when we come out, that we're gonna provide him with an offer, and then ultimately we are going to ask him something, which pay attention to the last few bits of this call, and hopefully it'll make sense.
In the meantime is, and what I always tell owners is, in most cases, like if we come out and see the property, in most cases we can hopefully help out in one way or another, whether we point you in the right direction or we can provide an offer that works for you and works for us. But I don't, what I hate doing and what I know some people worry about is that they're going to be pressured into some sort of decision, and I want you to know that if our number doesn't work, there's no obligation obviously on our side to do business with us or anything like that. So I just want that out there, so you feel comfortable, I feel comfortable, and there isn't any sort of upfront like, okay, Carter, I need to, he's going to pressure me into something like that, or so on and so forth. But what I'll try and do when we meet is have all the information I need ahead of time, and then I can at least give you an idea on value on the spot, and then you can let me know, okay, that's exactly what we're thinking, that's in the ballpark, that's not in the ballpark, so on and so forth. Does that sound fair?
Yeah, sounds fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool, then I'll plan 9 a.m. Thursday. And again, my name's Carter. If you have any questions or whatnot, do you want me to reach out to you before then, Dennis, to just confirm that it still works, or is 9 a.m. good for you?
Yeah, 9 is fine, but if you want to reach out to say you're still on for 9, that's fine too.
And just a quick tip, when you are going to just confirm the appointment, whether it's a day in advance or the night before, whatever it is, maybe the morning of, what I have learned to do, if you're comfortable enough, record a video of yourself. Take your cell phone and just say, hey, this is Carter with CB Home Solutions. Hey, I'm just confirming that we are still good to go for tomorrow at 9 a.m. or whatever the time frame is. And this just helps build more rapport with the seller. They get to know you by your face, by your name, so they feel comfortable meeting you in person, and then they know what to expect when you guys get together.
I'll shoot you a message on, is this your cell phone?
Yes.
Okay, then I'll shoot you a message like Wednesday, I don't know, late tomorrow afternoon or something, just to make sure it still works. Hopefully we don't have another ice storm here, but I guess.
It was interesting, the company I had come down from Green Bay to help me clean and stuff, and February is a bad month to be doing stuff, and the first dumpster wasn't bad weather, but today with this ice and snow, it was kind of hairy. But
Exactly. Yeah, it's a.
I just go into wrapping up the call there, just saying that I'll talk to him more on Wednesday to confirm the appointment and then ultimately see him on Thursday. But what I should have done, reflecting and recording your calls like this is so important, because there's a few things that I pointed out in this video that are extremely important not to be left on the table, which I did. But for future calls, hopefully I do not. As I had watched this, I paid attention, I took notes. And another thing that I want to mention is when you're on the calls, when I fact checked him with the realtor situation, I'd also say, okay, so what has the realtor had to say? Okay, nothing there. Well, what have the other investors that have walked through had to say? And we beat out one of our other competitions on this one as far as price points, and I locked it up on the spot just because the other investor came in at like $28,000, which is crazy low. The property's worth about $135 when it's all repaired, which they were not aware of. With it being worth about $135, we could afford to pay that $45,000. Hopefully this brought some value into your business. If you have questions, or if you want the script that we use and the word tracks that we use, email me, Carter@carterppc.com. Hit the like and subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video.